Hello again, welcome back to the channel. Glad you could join me. Today I wanted to talk about A Stainless Steel Rat is Born by Harry Harrison. And in saying that name, I realize how ridiculous that sounds, at least to me. I was sitting there thinking, why would you name your son Harry if your last name is Harrison? And I looked up the author, Harry Harrison. He was not born Harry Harrison. He was born Henry Maxwell Dempsey. I don't know why he decided to change his name, but anyway, he is a sci-fi author. He's done quite a lot of sci-fi in his time, and I read one of his books a while back. It was actually The Stainless Steel Rat Gets Drafted, and I picked up this one because I enjoyed the book. It was entertaining, so I picked up this one, and this is actually the first book, not necessarily in the series, if I understand correctly from what I've read about, like how this came about. He wrote books about this so-called stainless steel rat, and then he went back and wrote his origin story. So this is first chronologically, but printed much later. It looks like, if I click here, yeah, it looks like the first book in the series was the Stainless Steel Rat, and that was printed first. But then he went back later and wrote about the beginnings, the origin of his character. All right, so what is a stainless steel rat? Well, the stainless steel rat is Slippery Jim, and I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the last name, but because of the way it's spelled and some other wordplay, I've chosen to pronounce it Degrees, because that kind of goes along with his Slippery Jim persona. Slippery Jim Degrees kind of sounds like Degrees. Anyway, so Slippery Jim is a up-and-coming criminal. This is set in the far future. Mankind has gone to the stars, and they've colonized planets, and technology is key to life and all that other stuff. On a planet called Bit O Heaven, we find Slippery Jim. He was born on this planet, and he finds it completely boring. There's really, no real excitement. And then he realizes that maybe crime is the answer to the problem that he's having. And so he starts down this path of criminality. And he realizes that there's so much about criminality he doesn't understand, that he doesn't know. And so what he decides to do is go to prison. He thinks, well, if I go to prison, that's where the criminals are, and then from the criminals I can learn how to be a better criminal. So he robs a bank and gets sent to prison, and finds out that in the future the criminals that are actually good, that are standout, exceptional criminals, they're too smart to get sent to prison. And so he's in prison, and he learns that basically in the future, in prison, they really are the dregs of society. They're the people who are too dumb to get away with their crimes. And the most that he can look forward to is basically brainwashing, re-education, at the hands of the government into being an honest citizen. And so he comes up with a plan. There is a criminal, I should say, that he finds out about. One of the other inmates said, "Oh, you should have been around 20 years ago when the bishop was pulling off all his crimes. And this bishop was a criminal mastermind. He got away with everything." And so Jim determines at that point to escape from prison and meet up with the bishop to find out from the bishop the way to become a master criminal. There's a lot to like about Slippery Jim. He is not that criminal who is necessarily amoral. Yes, he does things that are against the law. Yes, he's trying to steal. Yes, he is a criminal. But he is determined not to hurt people. He's determined not to use violence if he doesn't have to. He's determined that his crimes will be on the nature of this bishop who, yes, he committed crimes, but he didn't hurt people. He didn't go out of his way to be a ruthless murderer. And so he is an honorable thief, if you will. So there is a lot to like about him. He is written in a very charismatic way. There is a lot of parallels I see between Slippery Jim and, say, Caiaphas Cain from the 40K novels. They're both less than stellar human beings, you would say, but they're both very likable. They don't go out of their way to denigrate people, to hurt people, to bring them down. They're just doing what they feel they need to do to succeed. And that is Slippery Jim. He's very intelligent. He's very smart. He knows what he's doing. He's very inventive. He comes up with a lot of plans on his own, and he eventually does meet up with the bishop, and we find out more about him as the story progresses. And we do get to see, some of the technology where they're going off into space and things like that. So this is the beginning of the Stainless Steel Rat series. And in fact, it was a comment from the bishop. This is why we get the Stainless Steel Rat. Basically, he was saying something in the nature of, in the past, rats were, the kind of drawing the equivalency between the rats and the criminal class. They were able to get everywhere. They were able to slip in and out. And now in the future, they need to be stainless steel rats because it's future. It's chrome. It's stainless steel. It's that kind of thing. So I very much enjoyed the book. It's lighthearted in its approach and quite amusing in a lot of ways. And one of the things that makes me think that the author intended us to pronounce Jim's last name as if it was Grease is because of some of the wordplay that goes on later in the book. So there are a couple of characters that come into play later. One is Cappadocia, which very much sounds like Cappadocia, which is in Turkey. And there's another one, Capodimonte, that's in Italy. Excuse me. And then there was another one that I can't remember off the top of my head, but because of the way that they were all capos, they were all kind of, it was as if the planet sometime in the past had been settled by by mobsters, and then had degenerated into a feudal era. And because of the way that they had been settled, they became capos. That was you were the boss, the big head cheese. And because of the way that they were supposed to be pronouncing them, what I thought was interesting was that capo doccia, that means boss shower in Italian. So it could be that he was the author was making a kind of some wordplay there. But anyway, that's what makes me think that we're supposed to think of him as Slippery Jim DeGrease kind of thing. Anyway, that's it for today. Let me know if you've read any of the books by Harry Harrison. Let me know if you've read any from the Stainless Steel Rat series and what you thought of them. Yes, this is an older book, but older books still can be quite enjoyable. And as always, like, share, subscribe, all that other stuff. And I look forward to talking to you again next week. And until next time, enjoy what you're reading.